go, let's go, let's go. Welcome back to Trauma Drinker with Romeo Jones. We are in the first 30 days of this channel, transforming my life for good, y'all. We are on day 6 of the alcohol experiment, okay? Shout out Annie Grace. Much love, Miss Grace, for your work in this world. It has been near and dear to my heart. So we're on day 6 of doing the alcohol experiment, but if you recall, um, I had my last bottle on YouTube. It wasn't live. I shot the video, then uploaded it. And I waited 3 days until I started the experiment just to give my mind and my body time to get the alcohol out of me and I could think more clearly. Even just in this short, it's been 9 days in total, okay? Because I waited 3 days to actually do this, all right? So 9 days alcohol free, 6 days doing the alcohol experiment. Today is day 6, and day 6 is why willpower doesn't work for long. And we have an anonymous quote that says, if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. So, as you know, you can use the book. You can go on the desktop, which is free. I'll drop a link below. As you can see here, I got it up on my laptop. This is Annie Grace. This is the desktop, but it's also an app. You see this Naked Mind up in the corner, and we're in the tab of the alcohol experiment, which is free. Well, again, I have to take you back to the map, okay, the visual that got me to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. Shout out my Uncle Sandy in 2017, bringing in 2017. So 16 New Year's Eve, New Year's Day will be 2017, right? January 1st. I said, Unc, how'd you stop drinking? We had more weed, alcohol, hookah, and chicken than you could imagine. And the only thing my uncle was indulging in was that fried Popeye's chicken. You understand me? And everything else was not a phase to him. He was enjoying the music. I said, Unc, how'd you stop? He looked at me and said simply, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. Well, for 551 days and counting, right, we'll call it an unofficial stop, okay, I documented my drinking patterns, right? And although you may look at this and you just see red and green, I know the states of my life as I look at these things. When I'm in the green, things are going well. Now, don't get me wrong, the whack-a-moles do show up. You know, I'll tend to smoke cigars. I'll tend to gamble. I'll tend to overindulge in chocolate and salt, potato chips. You know what I mean? Spicy nacho Doritos, Cheetos, the puffy ones. Sometimes I feel like a little kid. I'll be snacking on them Cheeto puffs like, like I'm my little niece Elon. You know what I mean? And so why doesn't willpower work? Well, for me, right, and you have to figure this out for you because I'm a big believer in the fact that we are our own best healers. Now, I would not, and I do not recommend you healing alone. It's very self-sabotaging. It's very lonely. Now, it's okay to be alone, but lonely, it's easy to dip back into those bad habits, you know. And as you can tell, if you look at day 4 and day 5, my sleep was starting to come back. By 11 o'clock, I was like, I'm ready to pass out. You know what I mean? That's another benefit of not consuming alcohol so much is that you can sleep normally. You know, for me, it's like my sleeping was horrible. I can't sleep. When I do sleep, it's poor sleep. And then 2 hours later, I'm back up. I can't sleep. I'm going for walks at 2 in the morning in the south side of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no pistol on me. Lord be with me. You know, God forbid, even if I did have a pistol on me, I don't want to use it. I don't want to get picked up for a discharge or an attempted or first degree murder. You know what I mean? But I can't sit still. I'm anxious. But back to the topic of, I find it very interesting that once I begin, like maybe for in the beginning it would just be read on the weekends. I'm talking 10 years ago when I first started drinking. It would just be read on the weekends. Again, I'm gonna get better lighting and better audio, but I didn't have to get it right. I needed to get it going. I'll get better with time. Okay, that perfectionism, that obsessive compulsive disorder, all these disorders we got going on, but. And I'm going to write about this. I'm going to write a short book about this, like a 10-page book, make it a PDF, and really break this thing down to the best of my memories of, like they say in AA, one is too many and 20 is not enough. Once I start, it's literally like a train leaving a station with no brakes. It's probably not going to stop until it crashes out. It's not. I have to accept that for me. And even when I observe people who have toxic relationships with alcohol, as I once did, but yet stand on it. Like I can see this guy probably has a little bit of a drinking issue going on. We can call it a disorder, right? When I say no, I'm okay. I don't have a drink. Just happened to me with my landlord. Had it. She's doing some work over in the house, and she had a guest with her, and I was like, no, I'm okay. I don't drink. Which I really don't tell people that unless I want to observe it. Like, so he's like, you don't drink? And I'm looking at him like, yeah, I'm not gonna get into the whole nitty gritty of why I don't drink, but the way you acting right now, I act 10 times crazier than you acting. That's why I don't drink. I didn't say that, but I just said, no. I said, if I drink, I'm not gonna have the rent money, which is facts. Facts. Get to drinking and everything might be okay for 5 days, maybe. Hardly 5 days. The no call, no shows start. Now I'm in hot water with the boss. One wrong move, I blink too hard. You're out. I don't like being in hot water. You know what I mean? I just want to do my job, and when I'm sober, I do it well. I look at my videos compared from just 9 days ago, right? And I have a previous YouTube channel where I was doing these experiments, but I was kind of failing and getting back up. I just kept going. I want to live, and I've filmed I have maybe 24 videos, maybe 3 dozen videos of me drunk, maybe 2 dozen. And I'm just looking at me now, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, I know what it feels like. Willpower doesn't work because in the beginning, your conscious mind says, I don't want to blank. And trauma drinker, in this case, I don't want to drink. But on an unconscious level, you still believe that alcohol helps you sleep. You still believe that alcohol gives you confidence. You still believe that alcohol makes you happy. You still believe that you need alcohol in social environments. And I know it, right? You see people who are drunk and they look all happy. They look, oh. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I know how they're going to feel when they wake up in the morning. You see, me having my energy back means a lot to me. Listen, at the end of the day, I need a job. I know some very successful people who quit their job and went all in on their business, and I get it. Me, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a sneaky link. I don't have any children. I'll embrace a job, especially if this job is going to help me on the long term, right? As a server, I get to deal with people every day. Mean people, nice people, hungry people, upset people, people who got a lot going on in their life, and they come to go out to eat to feel better about whatever they have going on. And I have to deal with all of these emotions and personalities and keep myself grounded. You see, when I'm drinking, I come into work and I'm hungover, now I'm irritable. I'm down there trying to have another drink at work, which I've done before and got canned. Hit the dough, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more. But it's funny, they always, either they call me back or I call them back down the road, and they're like, we can do this thing if you can stay sober, if you can promise to be here sober. It's only one way I can be here, and that's sober, else it's going to be a remix of the same thing, and I'm done with it. I need the job to pay my bills and to fund my dreams. Period. Now, if we can do this the right way for 6 to 12 months and save money, be cost effective, don't overspend, don't overindulge, save up enough money, maybe go to South America, maybe go to Southeast Asia, where it's a lot cheaper to live there than it is here for almost a higher quality of life. My buddy's coming back from Colombia in a little bit now. You have other vices out there that are a lot more accessible than here in America at cheaper prices. So focus is critical. But for me, I know that to really address my trauma, the alcohol has to be addressed. For me to go treat my trauma, the alcohol has to be addressed. I can't even stick to a regular self-care routine. Shower twice a day, right? Especially if you're working out. I can't stick to a gym routine. I can't stick to a work schedule when I'm drinking, because once I open that bottle and drink it, it's not long before it consumes everything of my life, right? And it's a domino effect. I start drinking, now I don't care what I eat. When I'm sober, I consciously, even if I don't, I'm gonna go with grilled or baked chicken over fried chicken. Small little increments. Instead of going with French fries, how about we go with a salad? Right? Instead of French fries, how about we go with a side of fruit or some steamed veggies? Progress, not perfection. Due to my trauma, I know I struggle with perfectionism. Right? I'm so scared to fail because failure meant bad news as a child that it's still ingrained in me that this has to be perfect. That's not how reality works. I enjoy the gym, especially when I get the habit going. I have never completed a gym workout at 100% perfect. And what I mean by that is perfect reps, perfect sets, perfect tempo, perfect rest, perfect recovery. Never. And if I tried, I know that I would fail. It's like, it's if you worked out 3 times a week for 8 weeks, that's 24 workouts, right? Maybe one will be at 95% perfect. One. But I guarantee you, your results will be night and day from the previous 8 weeks from taking action imperfectly. So, willpower doesn't work because you need a strong enough why to get your conscious mind, really get your subconscious mind in line with your conscious mind, right? That cognitive dissonance, which we'll talk about, which is your body, your mindset, your conscious mind says, your thinking brain says, I don't want a cookie. But then you go by 4 o'clock, you have a cookie, and then a donut, and then another cookie, and you know what I mean? There's dissonance. Your body still believes that cookies are favorable. Change took me time. Now, don't get me wrong. Once it hit, once that moment came, October of 2024, I said enough is enough. I woke up, my alarm didn't go off. I go into work, got fired. Well, I kind of fired myself. The guy's like, oh, well, you need to bring in a doctor's note, and because I had no call, no show for 3 days. I said, hey, man, I wasn't feeling good. I kind of had the stomach flu, which was a lie and not a lie. The alcohol had me sick, down for the count, right? I'll bring in the doctor's notice. I don't got no doctor's notice. And I'm not about to jump through all these hoops, which I'm not saying I'm right. I'm definitely wrong. My one of my coaches who we're not working together right now, but when we were working, she kept me in check. Like, you're telling me that you're upset that this happened because you did this? You did it, right? So then my alarm didn't go off. I told the story in like the first videos, 2 or 3 videos, but for some reason my alarm was set to go off on vibrate. I never set alarms to vibrate. The phone that I have now, the vibrate sucks on it. So it wouldn't even, I can barely feel it when it's in my pocket on vibrate. But for some odd reason, that day, it didn't go off. Right? Now he wants me to break down, oh, it's not my responsibility to make sure you wake up. No crap, Sherlock. But my bad. But when I come in early, I don't get no high five, but I don't need a high five. So anyway, I called one of my old bosses back. I said, boss, if I put in an application, would you consider it? You know what she said? If you can promise to come into work sober. It was 7 months ago that I was working for her. If you can promise to come into work sober. She said, you are an amazing server when you are mentally all there. Mentally, right? Trauma drinker, right? You got trauma, so you already got some mental stuff going on that we need to work through. Now you add alcohol on top of it. Alcohol make a sane person act crazy. Now listen, obviously I'm biased. There's people out there who can handle their alcohol or they manage the distress of it because of what it brings. Yes, you're gonna get an upper in the beginning, right? It's gonna give you that artificial boost of dopamine, serotonin, GABA, all those things. But then your body is gonna say, whoa, 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 this ain't right. Then it's gonna start pumping stress hormones into you, cortisol, to balance itself out. Now you're coming down, right? So your BAC goes up, your blood alcohol concentration goes up, then it falls below the baseline. You come to the bar, you're here, right? Boom, you have a drink, you go here, you stop having a drink, now you're down here. When you came to the bar, you was here. You leave the bar, now you're down here. It's not worth it. It's like gambling. You're gonna lose you're gonna lose 9 times for every 1 time you win. So if this is making any sense, how did I do it? It took me 15 years to get to a point and say, listen, this is not working for me. I have homies I had to bury. I had to speak at their funeral. People asking me, man, how he died before you? That's a good question, but yeah. I'm like, this thing has to go. My life is infinitely better. My relationships, my ambitions, my energy. Guys, you can't do nothing, ladies. You can't do nothing when you feeling lethargic. You wake up in the morning, feel like you got hit by a bus. You know, when I was telling my landlord, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm cool. He said, "Hey, what you be drinking?" You know, I said, when I drink me some Tito's. You know, oh, that's too strong. You gotta do it like. Listen, I go hard or I go home. I'm not about to be. Let me get some pink, some watered down stuff. It's all alcohol, whether it's beer, wine, malt liquor, whatever. I don't care. And I know for me, even when I did that 10-month stretch, which is the longest I've ever been sober since I've been an adult, I started off with little malt liquors. Y'all know what Four Locos are? Make you loco. I'm just starting with Four Loco. It was not long. It was a matter of days before next thing you know, I'm getting them spirits again. The spirits. Alcohol. Right? I'm telling you, man, that it destroy your body and it destroy your mind. It's not cute at all. Not for me. You figure out what works for you. You know what I'm saying? You might like cauliflower and I like broccoli. That's cool. That's cool. The cauliflower works for you. The broccoli works for me. You might get to a point in your life where you're like, man, see, it happened for me while I was young. I was a young man. You know what I mean? When I got to that, I was in my early 30s. I'm like, enough is enough. I can't even maintain a job at the golf course where I get paid to get drunk. And then your tolerance just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Man, I remember a half a pint used to knock me on my tail. 200 milliliters. In my last days, I would drink a fifth. That's 700 milliliters. Then go back to the store and get a pint. That's 375. That's like 1,000 milliliters in a day. And then when I wake up, it's still a little bit of that pint left. And now I'm right back at it. Listen, all these days, I wasn't fired all these days. 50% of these days, I'm going to figure out the numbers accurately. I was employed. I am a great worker. I take pride in anything I do. I don't care if I gotta get the streaks off a basketball court. I'm gonna be with that stick and that tennis ball getting all those streaks off. I don't care if I'm mopping. I'm gonna shine that floor when I'm done. I'm gonna look at that floor like I did that. Oh, bro, I did that. So there we are, y'all. You know, one day at a time. And as far as the trauma goes, I have not implemented a schedule yet. I'm gonna get there one day at a time. I'm gonna share it with y'all, and I also want to begin to meditate again and practice my mindfulness, being in the present. A lot of times my mind is in the future or in the past, and I'm not just in the present. When really, if you think about quantum physics, the past and the present, the future, the present, and the past, all exist simultaneously. I know that's a whole nother freak show. I don't want to overwhelm y'all, but update, I feel amazing. You know? Like, when you just get all drunk, you just want to go to sleep. You want to numb yourself. I forgive. I forgive myself. I forgive my mother for the lack of skills that she had. She gave me life. It's a gift that I'm here. My mother was 16 years old. She got pregnant. My grandfather said, no. That's what we're not about to do. You are going to have to go to the Planned Parenthood and don't do this again. Within 6 months, she was pregnant with me. New baby, new guy. I wouldn't be here if my mother or my grandfather told her, if they decided to keep the baby, her first child. So how about we take the good with the bad and roll with it? That's all I got, y'all. Today is but look, check this out. Let me show you something. I'm proud, So look, let's go back. See this is where we are present. That last red day right there, that was October 24th when I shot the video. It didn't upload to the 25th, whatever. It was, my connection was a little slow, and I started at like 11 at night. But 11 at night, and it's about 11 now. So 9 days ago is when I shot that video and had that drink. We've been in the green since, y'all. October. Today is the 2nd. I marked the green because I know I'm not having a drink. So I don't even have to do that tomorrow. I usually wait till the next day just to make sure, but I know I'm not having a drink, so I did it for the sake of the video. And we have about 8 weeks, 60 days. Yeah, that's 56, 8 weeks, 56, 57, 58, 59. 59 days to New Year's Eve, 60 days until New Year's Day. I got a job secured, and it's a good job. I don't care about titles and this and that. A job is a job. Even if you work for the CEO at Chase making millions of dollars a year, you still have a job you got to report to. I'm more interested in lifestyle. I can care less about pulling up in the car of my dreams, but I'm getting pulled in every which way direction. I want to build something where if I want to wake up and just go for a hike, go for a walk. And when I'm done, go for a walk, go to the beach. When I'm done, done going to the beach, see if my buddy want to catch a round of golf. If he do, great. If he don't, I'll play by myself. Or I'll join somebody else at the course. That sounds like a life to me. And I done wasted 15 years playing around with this trauma and this drinking. So it's time to get busy, y'all. You hear me? And lastly, my boy out in South America, he said for the foreigners now, they doing everything with fingerprints. Woo! Fingerprints. What y'all experimenting with here? Alright? I was 30 years old in 2020 when number 19 hit. The world, I've seen some things happen that the world never seen happen. Bow! Instant shutdown. Bow! Instant get a vaccination. Bow! It was, things happen like a thief in the night. Let's enjoy this time while we got it. Much love, y'all. It's Romeo Jones, the host, a trauma drinker, you can call it, where we dissect the trauma and the drinking and the connection between the two, and how do we move forward afterward, right? Yes, when I speak of trauma, I am talking of CPTSD, which I like to think of childhood, right? I like to put in figuratively, the C is for childhood, but in reality it's for complex. But CPTSD is mostly a derivative of childhood trauma, right? Those small T's. Yes, you can, why do 100 people go to war and 20 people come back with still PTSD symptoms? I believe, right, and I'm learning daily that it's how the wounds that they had from young, how they were responding to the environment based on those wounds. You know what I mean? So here we are. I'm excited to join this I wouldn't say industry, but this topic. There's so many great people out there speaking on it. Not many of them look like me, so just alone, me being, not many of them are young. The fact that I'm in my 30s talking about this is huge. The fact that I'm a young black man talking about this is a big deal. Europe's got it on lock. Europe's got a lot of people speaking up in this topic. America, we've got some, but not compared to Europe. But I mean, I'm excited to serve. So listen, I'm gonna put some links below. If you wanna, book a one-on-one with me, free of charge, see how we can collaborate and just maybe put something together, right? Zig Ziglar said, give. How does the quote go? I don't even want to look it up, but it says, give enough people what they want, and you will get what you want. Is the essence of it, okay? And I'm just here to serve right now. I'm glad to get my serving job back. You know what I mean? I'm not looking to charge you nothing. If we can collaborate and be of service to one another, you know what I mean? See if we can, I'll do that. And I also will drop a link to Annie Grace's app where you can do this experiment and begin it on your own. And I highly recommend you read this. See, this is practical, right? Putting the rubber on the road. This is really going to help you transform your mind, okay? And even in one of the last chapters, she says it. You will overcome this. Let each temptation, each battle bring you closer to winning the war. Learn from each fight. Remember all those fights I showed you? Your truth about alcohol and its... Learn from each fight, discovering your truth about alcohol and its role in your life. Alcohol does not define you. It does not give you worth. It is not who you are. It will not fix your problems, solve your loneliness, or provide any of the answers you seek. This is a journey, not a destination. It is a road that no one can walk but you. There are choices that no one can make but you. These are choices that no one can make but you. But know that by committing to a different future, no matter how many battles you have ahead of you, the war has already been won. That's beautiful. Yeah, I'm not going to overwhelm you and look for it, but she says here it is. It says, maybe you need a practical way to get started. Why not simply commit to my 30 days alcohol free? Join me for a 30-day alcohol experiment at alcoholexperiment.com. And, hey, listen, I'm just paying it forward, y'all. People paved the way for me, and I just had to get on the trail and go. So I'm not looking to trailblaze. I'm grabbing on people's coattail who have done this. Okay? And this is, quite frankly, to me, this is the eat. No, I'm not going to say it's easy. It took me a long time to get here, y'all, and every day is a battle. You might be like, man, all you got to do is have one drink, you back in the red. Exactly. I'm not doing it. But this is easy relative to getting down to the trauma. So I want to implement begin to be more productive, right? Just like when you're a kid, your bedtime, what time you got to be up during the week, and meditation. guided meditations. I love this woman named Mary Morrissey, good friend of Bob Proctor. May he rest in peace. And she has some phenomenal um, meditations that I actually own. 4 of them, and they're like 27 or 37 bucks a pop. Bought them years ago. I don't need to buy a thing, you all. Over the last 15 years, I've spent at least $50,000 in continuing education stuff. So that's it. Y'all know I can ramble, but I'm excited. I feel good, and I just want to stay on this path. I start work today's Sunday. I believe I'm going to be on the schedule starting next. The schedule goes from Thursday to Wednesday. So Thursday I'll be back down at America's America's Diner, and doing what I love to do: connect with people, serve people, show them a good time at the establishment, and sow the seeds that will, create my future. You know what I mean? So much love, y'all. Y'all know what to do. If you need me, check out the links below. All right. Much love. Later. Love you all.